Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to MediCam version 2.0. I've got my GoPro here. I'm sitting in my truck. Let's see if I can get this thing. Hopefully it actually points at me. There's no... The thing about these GoPros, there's no like screen that you can see where the thing's pointing at. So, this is Dumb Thoughts with Medius. Welcome. Welcome to You Always Win. And I'm sitting in my truck. It's raining outside, so I can't work right now. You can see I got my vest on. No, I'm not a crossing guard. I don't have a stop sign in my hand, and I'm not a construction worker. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Some hard-working dudes out there. I'm working around trains today at a rail yard with fuel, so we have to have high visibility clothing on. But that's another story for another time. So, okay, so my thing, Guns was talking about the Xbox with its all these different options that it has, like for subscriptions and buying options at different pricing. You know what? Oh man, I have a limited amount of stuff to say on this, but what I do have to say about it is this. I think it's unfortunate that they're bringing this type of stuff into this now. It's like now it's feeling to me like a bank loan or a car loan, or like, you know, trying to buy a cell phone with these contracts and fine print and legal obligations. Man, isn't video games supposed to be fun? I realize, come on, I'm not naive here. I realize that this is big money, big dollars, right? Big dollars for Microsoft, big dollars for Sony. I mean, if there wasn't big money in this, they wouldn't be doing it. Now, actually, this current generation of consoles, there were some big losses actually, though. You know, the hardware side, they don't make as much as you think off the hardware, the console itself. And when Xbox first released, it had a ton of problems, like Red Ring of Death, like consoles just left and right. And you know, Sony's were really high priced. They tried to go all fancy with their cell processor. I want to say their cell processor, like Gunn says it, up north of the Canadian River. Oh, I cracked myself up. But anyway, I'm gonna try and keep this shorter because I don't want these all to start getting progressively longer. But really, I can tell you this. This is my answer, or my opinion, my view on what Guns was talking about with the Xbox subscriptions. In a nutshell, he talked about there's something like an option that you can pay $500 for the console, or you can pay $300, but you're locked in for 2 years with a monthly. It's like a contract. You got to pay $15, $20 a month for 2 years, but that includes your gold membership. Come on now, there's a catch here somewhere, right? So tell me that I can buy a console for the same console for $200 cheaper and get my gold membership, and when you add it all together at the end of those 2 years, it's either less or equal to the other one. Why would they do that unless there's a benefit for them? I don't see it. I'm afraid that there's some fine print here that we don't see yet, or we don't know about. So I would caution everybody, try not to get overly excited that, oh my gosh, this one's $300 versus that. Make sure that it's the same unit, that it's the same. We're talking about equal setups with like memory and all that stuff, and hard drives capacity. Just make sure. It's just unfortunate. That's my opinion. It's unfortunate now that we're gonna have to go super fine print on these things. I don't know. It bums me out a little bit. I'm hoping, as a fan of consoles, and not as a fanboy, but as a fan, that Sony improves their dashboard, their XMB, their user interface, and remains free. That's the only thing holding Sony back. Now that they're both going to be on PC architecture, then a game developer can't make a game specifically for, unless it's an exclusive. I'm not talking about exclusives. I'm talking about Call of Duty. They build it for one console because somebody paid them, and then they port it over to the other one, which has different ways of programming, and the port is bad. The graphics, it's just bad. Because Modern Warfare 2, it was equal. It was equal. Okay? If you've played on both, you know this for a fact. This is a fact. They were equal. Graphics, everything. Playability, everything. As soon as somebody, remain nameless, started paying somebody else who will remain nameless, the difference between the two consoles changed, and that's unfortunate for us people who play, and especially if you're only on one console or the other. It's unfortunate. Timed exclusives, that stuff will happen. I'm not concerned about that. If I'm only on one console and somebody else has a timed exclusive, I'll wait a month. Big deal, right? I mean, that's what you play on. That's what you play on. In a way, I wish I only did play on one console. It's tough. It's tough to play on two. No, the only reason why I do is because of YouTube. Because there's a lot of PS3 people out there. There's a lot of PlayStation people out there. There's a lot of Xbox people out there. And I play on both. And I play on PC. So that's the only reason I do it, right? And this leads into my next topic. So that's all I got to say about that. My opinion is it's unfortunate that some business strategies is coming into play now. I wish it was pretty cut and dry, but hey, don't be naive that the world is business and making money, and video games is big money. So, but this segues into my next thing, talking about the consoles, which is my topic is twofold. One, what was your first video game console that you played on? And two, what do video games do for you? Right? What do they do for you? And I'll tell you what they do for me. This is now what they do for me. First, my first video game console was not Nintendo, was not any of that stuff. Surprisingly, a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, and a lot of people out there, you know, have like these GameCubes and Nintendos and all this different stuff. To be honest with you, I don't even know what that stuff is. I don't. I mean, I was I don't know how to say this. I was poor growing up, very poor, and we couldn't afford anything. Okay, we couldn't afford anything, let alone, you know, clothes and shoes. And so video games for me came later on in life. Video games for me came later on in life when I owned my own home. You know, I worked from 15 years old, and that's working and playing sports. And if you play sports, you know how much time it takes to play sports, you know, all the way up through college. It takes a lot of time, but I went out and got a job right away because I wanted a car, so I went and worked for it. You know, actually I started before 15. I had a paper route. Back when paper routes were still you riding a bicycle and like throwing and delivering papers before, you know, they took it over and gave it to adults in cars. It was kind of like establishing a work ethic, which was a paper route on a bicycle. And that's what I did for money. And then I got a job, and from that point on, I've been working ever since, nonstop. And oh man, it just reminds me of, you know, things were tough, and maybe, you know, if you guys out there, we've been talking a lot lately about gaming and gaming consoles and these $500 price tags, and just if you're in that position where you can't afford this stuff or your family can't, just know that things will get better. Things will get better is if you push forward and work for it. Nothing in life is free, you guys. I like to once in a while give some advice based off experience that I have. You have got to work for this stuff. So if you're feeling a little down about maybe some of these conversations even that we're having here, you guys just keep pushing forward. Keep working hard. Things will work out for people who work hard at stuff, okay? That sounds a little preachy, but it comes from the heart for me. You know, I work hard for what I got now. I've always worked hard for every little thing because I know what it's like to have nothing. So that being said, I don't know how I got off on that tangent. I'm sorry, guys. But my first console was PS1, PlayStation 1. And there was some of the games that I really remember was one called Disruptor. It was like a science fiction where you shot like orbs and fought these things in like space stations. Disruptor was such a good game, really fun. I really liked that. I really remember that one. And back then it was weird. I was into driving games like Gran Turismo and stuff like that. I was into those things. Then PlayStation 2, I got a PlayStation 2. And again, remember, this is after I'm mid-20s now, 25, 26 probably. I'm buying these consoles and they're not new. These are older. They've been out. It's not like it just released. So With PlayStation 2, there was a lot of good games, but one that really, really remember, it was right like towards the end of my cycle with PlayStation 2, was the game Black. It was a first-person campaign shooter, and it was like, for me, it was like way ahead of its time in graphics and playability. It was a really good game, so if you still have a PlayStation 2, you might want to check out that game Black. Really good. I mean, I know the graphics aren't going to be anything compared to now, but it was really good. And then I got a PS3, and I got Call of Duty 4, and that was the first time I hooked up internet and I went online and played multiplayer, and I've never looked back. PlayStation 3, and then eventually I got an Xbox about the time, well, I got it exactly when Halo Reach came out. Not that I didn't know anything about Halo, but Halo Reach came out, and we were going to play Halo and post it, so I had to get an Xbox, and I got the Halo Reach edition, and it's nice. It works great. It's real quiet. It's got a lot of memory in it, so I got a decent unit there. But that's like my history. I wasn't able to play these other gaming consoles when I was a kid because we just didn't have the money. But the second part of it is, what does video games do for you? I'll tell you what it does for me. I used to come home from school, or I'd come home from work, and if there was nothing going on, and I wasn't like knee deep in a hobby like, I don't know, woodworking, metalworking, or building something out in the garage, I would watch television, right? And you kind of like sit on the couch and waste a couple hours watching TV, then you go to bed. And then on the weekends, you know, you do other stuff. You go out with your friends, you party, you go crazy, you go to the river, you go to the beach, you go to the desert, do all the stuff that you do. But TV, what video games have done for me has changed that. It has replaced television completely. Like, I could literally not have satellite or, you know, direct TV because I don't watch it. I do have some things I record, like Criminal Minds and stuff like that, but that's it. I don't watch television. I replaced it with the interactivity of video games, and because of that, YouTube came along. I've met a lot of fun people, and now with all the meatheads and all the people from You Always Win out there, it's like, man, it's awesome. It's so cool to have, like, you know, people that I can interact on Twitter with, and people that watch the videos and the interaction and just the channels. It's almost unexplainable, the feeling you get from that. I guess I'm blessed to have, like, all you guys out there, and to be able to have friends like Guns and do the stuff that we do. It's a lot of fun. That's what video games have done for me. It's not like an addiction. It's actually like, it's like stress relief. It's like, it's a lot of things. It can be such a good thing. There's a lot of people on the outside of the industry, or the outside of video games, looking in, wanting to blame games for a lot of things, where it used to be television, violence, all this different stuff, but it can be a really good thing. I mean, that's what video games do for me. It's a stress relief. It's a way to meet people. It's a way to interact with people. I get to make videos and talk and have discussions on life and do some fun things and share that with all of you guys. So, I don't know, Guns, what do you think? I'm going to throw this over to Guns for his next one. Let's say, what was your first console, and what do video games do for you specifically? And I want to know from you guys. Leave in the comments, what is it like? What do games do for you, and what does it do for you watching games like us playing on YouTube? Because I get a lot of messages. I know what it is for a lot of you guys, and it's really cool. It's really cool to be able to interact, and also once in a while actually help some people out. It's hard to say there, but it's hard to imagine that unless you're in that position. But you can actually help people out doing this stuff, and just through the enjoyment and fun helps a lot of people. Laughter cures a lot, and there's a lot of laughter here on You Always Win. So hope you guys enjoyed my little GoPro vlog here in my truck. I thought it was something different. You notice I've done three different locations, trying to keep it fresh for you guys. So comments down there. Guns, take it away. Thanks for watching, everybody.